All right. We thank you for tuning in to the Talk of Life talk show with Elma. This is a Christian-based talk show where we do not mind entertaining anyone that would love to come on the show. Tonight I have my co-host, Linda. Hi. We have Tera joining us tonight. And we have Cynthia and Kimberly. And then we have our other guest is going to be introduced in a few minutes. But we always start the show off with our scripture, which is one of my favorite scriptures, Philippians 1:6. Being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good thing in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. So that means we do not stop working. Okay, we have to keep working. Our motivational saying is, life is a change and growth is optional. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about the protests and all the things that's going on in the world. We dealt with COVID. We're still dealing with COVID-19. But now we're going to talk about the protest that's going on all over the world with the guy that got killed. His name was George Floyd. George Floyd over in, it seems like I just can't get that name out. He was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I do have family up there, and I want to give a shout out to my brother, Kay Brown, and his family, his wife, Lola, and their children up there. We're praying for protection all over the world because this protest has really brought a lot of attention to us and to everyone. And we have protesters out there that are doing things that are to bring, try to not to be violent. And then we have some that are violent. So tonight we're going to talk about some incidents that has happened. I have my son, Darius Kirkwood, with me tonight. And I also have Tera Nels with us tonight. And she's going to talk about, she's one of our members here at the Church Within International Ministry. And she's going to talk about some violence that happened in her family as well. And I'm pretty sure all of us up here probably have dealt with the police or family having problems with that. And some of this violence is not, it's not even cause for. So tonight, I want my son to share his story, how the police came. And what was so funny about this, we was at Albertson one day, and I think he got a little upset. It was Albertson, wasn't it? Albertson? Yeah.
It was Albertson.
That's why I didn't want to go today.
Okay. And what had happened was he had gotten a little upset with his mother, which is me. And he didn't want to say nothing because he know I don't play that. So what he did, he walked away. And I didn't even think I knew you had left, did you? No, he walked away and didn't tell me he was gone. So I'm thinking he was in the store, because he had gotten upset. So, they don't talk back to mother or nothing.
No.
So he just walked back. You heard him say no. But so he said to keep from, saying anything, he just walked away. I'm thinking he's still in the store, right? Shopping. So what happened on your adventure? Mic up.
That was an adventure. Okay, so leave out. And because I didn't want to talk back, I was like, I'm not finna be rebellious or anything. Because I used to be real bad when I was like 13. I did talk back, and I was like, I'm not finna speak back to my mom. I'm finna go to Walmart and leave. So I'm leaving out the place, and it's like I feel like I hear this spirit talking to me. And I know that had to be the Holy Spirit. It was just like saying, just go back. And I was like, I'm not finna disrespect my mom. I'm finna just go to Walmart, probably go in there and get a drink. So I'm going and everything, and it was just like I heard the voice like, well, you didn't eat nothing. So I was going through like some like stupid low sugar stuff at that time, and it was like, just take your time making it to Walmart. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I kept hearing this voice saying, go back. And I was like, Lord, just forgive me. I just can't listen right now, because I don't want to be rebellious. So I'm making it like to the point where I'm getting ready to cross the street. Like, so right when I cross the street, I see these two officers looking at these people's gates and stuff like that. And I was like, that was during the time when a lot of black people was getting shot and killed. And I just glanced and I was like, I'm finna just turn my head and not look into none of this. So I immediately when I turned my head, they seen me. And they was like, hey, you, sir, stop. And I was like, okay. And they're like walking because I remember it was a donut shop, and I had just crossed the street. They're walking to me, and I just stayed there. They're asking me questions, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm getting, questions. It was like, so a lady said that it was a description of a guy with an orange shirt and black pants. So I was like,
had robbed her, right?
Yeah,
robbed her.
That was in their backyard or something. They was doing something, and they was talking to me like a witness. So I'm trying to help them out. I'm like, they was like, then until they came at me, was like, well, you got this orange shirt on. And I was like, whoa, officer. I said, I may got an orange shirt on, but I got like black pants. Black shorts. And I was just like, y'all didn't see me just cross the street, because I had just crossed the street. And they looked at me, and they seen where I was just like right where I was. I'm going into where a driveway was going in. There's no sidewalk. If a car came in, it could have hit me. That's where they seen me at. They didn't want to answer that. They just was just like, well, you fit the description. And so I was just being polite. I wasn't trying to catch no attitude or anything. I was like, well, did the lady say what race he happened to be? Because I started to get scared, because I thought about all the other blacks that was getting shot and all this stuff. And he didn't want to answer me. And I was like, I kind of got a little bit scared. Then they looked at each other confused, like, man, I think we got the wrong guy, and like they made a mistake. So I'm just standing there looking, like watching these officers, like looking like they made a mistake. So I'm thinking that they like they don't want me in this situation no more. So I was like, I'm thinking like, okay, is this done or something? I'm looking confused and lost. And so I'm getting ready to like I just turned just to the left, right when I just turned to the left, and I couldn't even take a step. I barely just placed my foot. Then they grabbed me by my chest. Both of the officers slammed me on the ground, and like I was like 2 to 3 inches, like my head could have been like right here.
Wow.
And the concrete was right there. I was not that far from them slamming me on like concrete. And I had to pick my head up to keep from
similar to what the guy was doing.
Yeah. To keep my head from busting, from breaking, busting my nose.
It's hot too,
Yeah, and it was like around August. Yeah, it was
August.
August.
It was hot.
So it was
The
like,
concrete is hot.
it was really hot. And I got slammed right on the ground grass part. And I picked my head up to keep from like them busting my nose, to keep it from bleeding. And it kind of like knocked some air out my chest. And then they pinned me down. One officer was on this side. They threw me in handcuffs, tightened it real tight, had my wrist like in pain, had me like wiggling on the ground like I did a drug bust like in the store or something. One officer was on this side, had his elbow on this, and the other one was on this side.
Wow.
Had his elbow like this.
Well, okay, where was his elbow?
They had it like right on my back,
Oh,
like right
okay.
in here.
Okay.
And they had me just both down. They was like yelling at me.
Wow.
And they was like, you did it. You did it. And I had to like, I answered them like almost 15 to 20 times and told them like, no. And I wasn't acting crazy with them. They said, go ahead, you did it. Just say that you did it. Wow. And they was yelling at me like, I can't like really just get super loud how they was doing, but they were just yelling at me. And while I'm on the ground, I'm thinking in my head, it's like, and it was the reason why I got super
Then they have
scared.
you handcuffed too?
They had me handcuffed
with those silver handcuffs.
And then they had me pinned down, and I was like, man, I didn't even do nothing bad. I was like, all I was doing trying to help them, and then I just happened to be the wrong person at the wrong time.
So you see how easily somebody could get accused of something that they didn't even do, and trying to help out to see what was going on. So what happened after he did that to you?
They just kept yelling at me, telling me to say that you did it. And I said, no, I didn't do it. And he said, you know what? You're making this hard for yourself, okay? You're making it hard for yourself. And then I was like, he said, just you say you did it. And I was like, I didn't do it. Then he balled his fist up like he was finna start beating me in my face.
Oh, my Lord.
And the guy, he was like 4 times the size of me. And I was just thinking in my head, why would it take 2 officers to slam me down? And then I thought about it. I was like, these are 2 Caucasian officers. And I was like, I'm not finna act crazy or nothing, because they've been killing blacks like crazy. Right. And like, then you say the Holy Spirit started talking to you. Yeah, I started talking in my head. I was like, God, I feel like I was gonna die. I spoke to the Spirit in my head. I was like, God, forgive me for leaving out the store and everything like that. I was like, man, I don't know I'm finna die. And I was just thinking in my head, there's nothing I could say. So then at that point, I was just in a point where like, I was just saying my last words to the Holy Spirit. I was like, Lord, if I die, I die. And then it was just like, my heart was beating real fast. I was sweating. And then I started kind of like losing energy. And felt like I was like going in and out and stuff like that. My body started getting weak and everything. And I was like, man, I feel like I'm about to faint. And I was like, so I told the spirit, what do you want me to do? He says, keep saying no, don't you say yes. And then the cop kept yelling at me and said, just say it, say you did it. And then I said no. And then they was like wiggling me on the ground and stuff. Then a couple of black girls came by, like, just like wiggling me, trying to like.
They searching you.
No, they were just
shaking
roughing me up, trying to make me lie.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they was just shaking me on the ground and stuff. So I was like, no, I didn't do it. And he got mad, balled his fist, and like he real tight clenched, like he just wanted to and start busting me in my face. And I got scared. And about that time, I'm thinking in my head, like, I seen some girls walk by. They just looked at me on the ground. They didn't say nothing. They looked at like they was scared. They just walked on by. And at that point, when I felt like I was finna just like pass out, I was like, God, I can't say no more. I'm finna say yes. I'm finna just let them rip me up like just a dead chicken and throw me in his car, slam me, do whatever. I just don't want to die, and stuff like that. And then right when I was finna say yes, another trooper pulled up. And it was a Mexican cop, and then one of the other white officers got up. He got off of me, and he got scared, and he walked away. And the other one, he didn't want to stop. He still stayed on me and everything like that. The other officer, he got scared, and he walked off, and he was making lost faces. Like the vibe I could pick up was like, man, I could get fired for this. So he stopped, and the other officer, he didn't. He still persisted. You just need to you need to say yes. You're making me mad, and all this type of stuff. So. No, just before the Mexican officer got there, I remember he said, I'm going to run your license. And you already know it's going to come back bad. I already know it's going to come back bad. Yeah, it ain't come back shoot. Ha, yeah, it's going to come back bad. Now, so I'm going to get it.
Now, you see how they can stereotype just because he's a black man, young man, they assume that he was going to have a record. So he got your license and they ran your...
Yeah, he didn't run the license.
Until the other cop
came and scared him off, and he was just laughing at me, basically in my face, was going off on me, was like, I already know it's gonna come back bad. It ain't finna come back good anyways. And I was like, I said my stuff is clean. When I said that, he was laughing, and he was just then he started talking to me like I was just some stupid animal or something like that. And I was like, yeah, this is some super racist stuff. And I didn't give in to none of that, because I was like, this guy could easily start beating the mess out of me and kill me. Right. And I was just like, I didn't even react, go back into it.
What was the Holy Spirit telling you at that time?
A spirit just told me just stay calm. And right when I was finna say yes, the Mexican officer pulled up, and then he was like, what's going on? And then the officer, he got up, and he was like, he tried to make me look bad, and was just like, he fit the description of this, he did this, and he tried to make it look like I was basically trying to come at him. I guess trying to attack the officer. Yeah. He lied. And then he walks off and was like, I'm finna go check his license though. And then he walks off, and then the Mexican officer, he gets them off of me. He comes and pick me up off the ground gently and put me in his car. He was like, man, he said, man, what's going on? It was the vibe I picked up from the Mexican officer. He was like, I'm finna get you away from these officers right now, because they doing some stuff. Yeah, and I don't, I don't want to talk to them while in front of them. So he put me in his car to get me away from them. And they're over there running my license. And that's another thing that the officer said. He said, if your license come back clean, I'll look you in your eye and tell you sorry. And everything, and it was just and then so I'm telling the Mexican officer what happened. They said I fit a description. Said it was a guy with a orange shirt and black pants. And I told them I just came and crossed the street, and I thought they seen me because I was right where a driveway was going in, and I had black shorts on, and then the Mexican officer was just kind of just it was I felt like he didn't want to get out of his job duty, but you could see the expression on his face was just he was just man, this is some racist stuff.
Trouble.
Right.
On your job is a liar. There's always instigating.
Yeah.
You know that in every company,
You
and they
know the ones that's
they
causing
knew he
problems.
was an instigator. That's always just pinpointing African American black men. You know that. Kimberly Bloom is on the phone. We have a caller here. Kimberly, did you want to add to that?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening at this time.
Okay.
But you're welcome to add and comment. We have a caller, Kimberly Bloom from Houston, on the line with us.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
Thank you for joining in to the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma.
So when you came out of the store, did you see your son in the cop car? Or?
No, what had happened was he called me and he said that he was over at right there.
The donut shop.
The donut shop area. And I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute, where did he go? I didn't know where he was. But when I pulled up, they was gone. Because see, when he came back to him, you said that they told you that you was okay to go.
Yeah, they said I could go.
Okay,
And
did
so-
he apologize?
No, he didn't apologize.
Did he look you in your eye and
He
say,
didn't look me
What
in
did they
my
say
eye.
when you came back, though?
All he did was when it got finished, he was so scared, he just started doing this. And he was like this. He said,
Twitching his eye.
he wouldn't look me in his eye, and he kept turning his head. He was like, here go your license. You're free to go like that. And I was just like, because the Mexican officer, he was like, yeah, you can go over there and get your license. I thought he was going to walk over there with me because I was scared the guy was going to beat me up or something. And he wouldn't look me in the eye. He was just like, here go your license right here. And I was like, can I go? And he was like, yeah, you can go. And then I got my license.
And then that's when he called me.
And
by the time I got there, he was just standing there like a zombie. He was like a zombie because he was so afraid because here's a young black man that's been thrown down on the ground, handcuffed for something because this woman said that it was a black man with an orange shirt and black pants. Now, he had on shorts. They didn't say nothing about the pants. She said pants, but he had on an orange shirt and short. You see what I'm saying? But all they was looking for was somebody to take the blame because this one. But this is happening so many years back where black men have been accused and go to prison for something that they didn't do.
What I can't understand is that how can all the policemen that do this kind of stuff always be right? That is just plagued my mind. How can every one of them always be right? I mean, that's almost as equal. What'd you say? I can't hear you.
Because society more than likely can.
Is it because they're authority?
Because
I mean,
they're
can never
always
be wrong.
right.
Nobody
They've
wants
got
to go
be
against the
wrong.
police. Nobody wants to go against
want to.
authority.
Because
But
they're
you-
afraid that they're going to
But
get
they're
locked
human.
up.
They cannot always be right.
No.
And that's what's so interesting to me.
And that's the reason why a lot of people are protesting today because they're tired of our young black men getting killed. They're tired of them for just no reason. The guy jogging
Random.
and he gets killed. Just jogging. He's enjoying life. He gets killed. My son goes on, even though he was disobedient, but God had to take him through that. But still, he didn't have no reason to be thrown on the ground. And I was upset. I wanted to go find those policemen. And my husband said, no, baby. I said, because we get into self and you get mad. And I said, it wasn't meant for me to be there because I probably would have gotten locked up myself.
Yeah, you probably would have.
Cause see, when I walked over to Walgreens, I was gonna immediately call my mom, and I heard the Spirit say, "Don't you call your mom, because your mom's gonna see these cops, and she's gonna ask you, even if you don't say nothing, she's gonna say, what's this about? And you're gonna tell her the truth." And I seen this vision of my mama snapping and going off, because she gonna go off.
I'm going to go off. You
And
right.
I know she would have went up to that cop and cussed him out. And then it was like, I feel like the Spirit said, well, you seen what happened to you and you didn't do nothing. You was super respectful, and she has the right to go off because that's her son and you didn't do nothing. You don't want them to throw your mom on the ground because you would have went over there and would have tried to fight those cops. And then it could have been something worse. You could have got killed. Your mom could have got killed.
That's right.
So the Spirit told me, he said, you wait till they leave. You wait till they leave because you don't want it to be nothing serious.
That's right.
Because you ain't finna watch no cop beat your mama down like that. You gonna go over there knowing that you can get killed and you gonna defend your mama. And you could have just got killed and you wouldn't have cared. But the Spirit told me you let them go, let them kill out the site. Then you call your mom. I called my mom and I was just looking like a ghost.
Yeah.
And I told her what happened, and she was mad. And the Spirit said, I told you she was going to go off. Now, what if you would have did that if you would have what's it called? And I was like, I was like, I listened in, so it made me mad. But the Spirit told me, you looked up the cops. I looked up when I was a kid. They did our DARE thing in 90s when we was kids. I don't know if y'all remember the DARE. I used to look up the cops. I never would have thought that it would ever happen to me. Never. And that happened to me, and I just be scared of cops.
How do you feel now? I mean, knowing that they did this, knowing that they chose you and you didn't do a thing because they saw you walk across the street. They saw you because they made eye contact with you.
Yeah. Because the guy came from behind. So they knew that wasn't him because he came from Aberson.
Right.
But the guy that the woman said came from behind the donut place.
Yeah.
So how is he going to come behind there and be on the other side of the street? They saw him coming from the Aberson store at that time. So they were just looking for somebody.
Yes.
But
So
she
have you
asked,
ran
how do you
into-
feel now?
How do you feel now?
I just when I see cops, I don't try to pay them attention. I do just have a fear because it ain't the first time it happened. I had other times on some stuff and leaving from work, cop stopped me and searched my car, and I was like, he said, "You got weed in your car?" I was leaving from Walmart and I searched the car with him. It was at midnight. I was scared. And then he didn't find no weed in my car. Then he said, I was like, well, officer, what did I do? He said, oh, you had your phone in your DoorDash. That's why I'm giving you a ticket. Then gave me a ticket and he was like, you can go. And I was just, fear was all over me. And then I made it back.
He coming from work now.
Yeah.
Coming from work.
And I was just like, man, but I just be scared of cops. That's just what it be. But I don't try to show too much fear because if you show too much fear, they'll try to come at you for real. So I just try to be calm.
Right.
If I see a cop car in a neighborhood or something, I just be like this. I just be driving. I don't try to look nosy. I just go straight through and I start praying. I'm like, Lord, don't let them harass me or pick at me, and I just leave it at that. Right.
So have you seen these police officers?
No, I have not. I have not seen them at all. I don't want to see them.
I think they use their liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, and you can say it's case by case. I won't say it's every single one, but there are a lot of them on the force that do that on purpose.
Uh-huh.
They do that deliberately.
Yeah.
And the chief of police or their supervisor, he should know this.
Yeah.
There's no way you can work in any office, anywhere, and not know
which ones are the bullies like.
Right. Who are the bullies? Who are the ones that's always harassing people or that want to have their way.
You're right.
And always want to be right. I know that I know that where I work. I've known that over the years. How can someone in leadership not know? How can someone in authority not know? Why do they overlook these behavior patterns in their colleagues?
Because they have this code. They have this code. I was looking at this movie where there was a black police officer and she caught some of her friends. I mean, they was police officers. They did not protect her. In fact, they tried to kill her.
That was that Blue movie.
Blue,
that movie that was out.
Blue or not black or something. Yeah. But anyway, and even our people, they was whipping her butt big time. And people were standing around and not moving. But now I know why they didn't move, because they had snipers on the top that they was take guns and shoot them, if they were trying to help her. But they have this code where they can whip your butt and nothing be done or said, unless, of course, you get caught. And then I was looking at the news today. I was reading this news where it said they asked, I think you have to go before somebody before you can be indicted for murder or something. And the question was why, and like you said, this police officer might not even get charged with what he did, although it was in, public view. And he said, because you choose people that on this board that will protect him. Now he'll be be protected, but a black man won't be protected. So, but you have to be careful. It's a code.
Okay. And now, Tera, did Kimberly have anything to say?
Kimberly, did you want to comment about today, what's happening, anything? You're more than welcome.
What absolutely baffles me, guys, is that the police are supposed to serve and to protect.
Right.
And we, based on the things that the nation has been witnessing, that the globe has been witnessing, because you will notice that the protests are not just contained here in the States. Right. London is speaking out. Other places are speaking out because it is so sickening
Yes.
But their involvement and their lack of protection of the black and brown man would lead us to believe that they are incompetent and incapable of serving and protecting. Now, we know that that's not true because we all saw video where more than 50 or 60 officers were standing out at the murderer's home. The officer who rested his knee and entire weight of his body on the neck of Mr. George Floyd. That evening, the police dispatched officers to protect his home.
Wow. I didn't see
So I
that.
said, oh, so y'all really do know how to serve and protect.
Oh,
And
that's
so I had to
good.
take a picture. You see what I'm saying? I had to take a picture, y'all. I had to
That's
post
good.
it on my Facebook and stuff. And I had to say, I found proof they really do know how to serve and protect. So when they were standing there and not doing anything to get George up, it was because they chose not to.
That's good.
And that is the reason that these lawmakers are going to have to change some things. Because everyone already knows that the animal society have gone before all of these lawmakers. And if you kill an
Right.
animal, if you kill a dog, immediately
That's
you
true.
already know you're looking
That's it.
at up to 10 years in prison.
Right.
But when it comes to a black man, we just shooting the breeze. Don't nobody know if he's going to be locked up or if he's going to be in jail. And to this day, guys, we really don't have any proof at all on whether this man was booked. There is no
Right. I
mugshot.
was wondering that. Yeah, I was wondering
That
that
is
too.
not that man.
I was wondering that too. It's a lot of stuff we're not
That is not
seeing.
that man. That is not that man.
That's true.
Well,
What'd
we
she
are
say?
seeing it. We're
What
seeing
she say
them
he wasn't
continue
what?
to be deceitful.
Has he been
That's
booked? Why
what we're
haven't we
saying.
seen everything?
Oh,
Why aren't we
Uh-huh.
seeing
the
everything?
policeman had been booked.
Right. Why aren't
Well, we
we
are.
seeing
Oh.
everything?
Yeah. I know what you're saying. You're saying we're not seeing everything, while I'm saying we are seeing everything.
Oh, we
we're
are
seeing
seeing
them be
everything.
true to. We are. We're seeing them be true to what they have been, and that's deceitful.
Deceitful.
That's false accusers. That's
Okay.
that's rigging up and stacking cases against innocent people. I mean,
Right.
these are the things. This is what they do. Not all police are wicked and evil, but there are those who spoil the bunch.
Right. There has to
Period.
be accountability. They have to
Correct.
devise a system where they will be responsible for their actions. Because right now they think they're God, and they don't have to give account to anyone. I can
'Cause
treat
they're
you
the
anyway.
policemen.
I'm the police, and it seems like they want to make a open show of us for our community for some unknown reason. They want to show our community that, hey, I got this badge. I can do whatever I want to you.
Right.
And no one's going to say anything and no one's going to do anything. Seaver said he was riding in his car and he had on his hoodie and the police pulled him over. Why? Because you look suspicious. Because you have on a hoodie, you look suspicious.
Who was this?
Did they
Really
actually say
suspicious.
that?
To Seaver, because
That he looked suspicious?
he had on his hoodie driving.
Are you
He
serious?
looked just like Carlos. He wears his hoodie just like Carlos, right?
Wow.
Y'all can't see Carlos, and he was pulled over because he looked suspicious.
So I mean, when they stopped him, what I mean
That's all he told me. He just, oh my God, stop, because they said I look suspicious with my hoodie on.
wow.
God.
And he lighter than all us.
I know.
Yeah, he is.
Wow.
So
And
isn't that
then
interesting?
nothing.
Random.
I'm
That is-
suspicious. But see, that's the thing. That's another thing. The laws have got to change.
Yes.
The laws must change. That if you false accuse, that if you file false reports,
Yes, Kimberly.
you're going to do time.
Yes.
Not only are you going to do time, they need to find them.
Yes.
And I mean financially find them. Like
Right.
Central Park, Candace, that woman, that very thing cost
Oh,
Emmett Till
yes.
his
That's
life.
good, Kimberly.
The woman
Yes.
And so I
said
don't
that the black
appreciate
man
it.
was
I take
attacking
it
her.
very, very
Oh, yeah, with
seriously
the dog.
when you will sit there in front of this man recording you and you knew you were being recorded and you worked yourself up
In a frenzy,
into
she sure
his
did.
story. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just going to tell him an African American man
If you-
is threatening me and my dog and recording me. Okay, so is he threatening you or is he recording you? Because he can't be threatening and recording
Oh,
you.
that's good, Kimberly. That's good, Kimberly.
That's good,
Which
Kimberly.
is it? Is he recording? Because normally most times when people recording, they're trying to hold a hand.
That's
They got
right.
both hands on the phone recording. So
Right.
is he
That's
threatening you and your dog, or is he recording?
That's true.
Which one is it?
That's
Because
good.
he asked her to put the leash, her
On her
dog.
The
dog.
dog
And she
on
should
the
have had
leash.
the leash on
He
the dog
asked her.
Because
anyway.
it was a law
This is the
leash,
thing.
at least.
He asked her to follow the rules.
Right.
But because of white privilege and because the lies have worked in the past,
Oh, that's
she immediately
good.
went to the rule book. The rule book
Yes.
and the rule book is just lie on a black person,
Cry
particularly
wolf.
a black man. Just say that's it.
Mhm.
And so before she knew it, she realized we schooled her too. Because my thing is, guess what? You my sister. Good. I'm going to teach you a lesson. Big sister fits to teach you a lesson. She lost her job and she lost her dog.
Right.
Woof, woof.
I mean, big sister,
Wow.
big sister gonna teach you a lesson. Y'all, right now, I'm dealing with another lady who literally posted something out on social media, and can I read it? Can I say it? It's nothing,
Oh, yes.
no cursing or
Read it.
anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But she literally had the nerve to write, "I think black people bring out the worst in us."
Bring out the light.
That's what she.
Was this
I
a
think
Caucasian
black
lady or a
people-
black
She
lady?
says this a Caucasian lady. Do you know?
She's Hispanic.
She's Hispanic.
And she said what
black
now?
people- uh-huh.
Pastor Elma said,
I-
say it again.
I think this is what she wrote. I think black people bring out the worst in us.
And she's
So good. All
Hispanic
right.
saying
so
that.
So guess what? What I did is, because we all entitled to our own opinion. I'm fine. I'm good. But then I needed to know what role you're in. So when I found out she was a realtor and was able to find out what job she worked, and was able to go to Texas real estate
Bored.
commission, the board, about her. Because, see, you can say whatever you want to. That's good. That's fine. But when you said us, I need to know is TRC, the Texas Real Estate Commission, a part of that us? Is this brokerage that you work for a part of this us? Because, see, I need to know what that us means. You see what I'm saying? You can
Black
think whatever
people
you
buy
want to. That's
houses.
fine. Because you
Yes,
said
they
it
buy
brings
houses.
out. Bring out means to make visible. You see what I'm saying? It means
Yes.
it's already in her.
Oh, yes.
And that us, it's already in her. But when she come in contact with a group of people, it surfaces. Okay, so cool. Now what we need to do now is make sure that every black person do not come in contact with you, and especially that their money don't. So we're going to take our
good.
we're going to take our $3.6 trillion every 12 month buying power, and we're not going to give you a penny. That's what we're going to do.
So she
So
gonna go
she's since
bankrupt.
been fired from her job.
Wonderful,
And she's still,
Kimberly.
it's wonderful. It's sad. Oh, absolutely it is, but it's not over because she's still kind of talking big. She still wants to talk big, and so she told me that I was spewing hate, and I said, no, ma'am, not at all.
Good
I said,
for
but I'm going to
you.
give you a lesson. She said to me that I was spewing hate. I was spreading hate. I said, no, these are your words. I said, but I'm going to school you. I said, every crayon in the crayon box, it lives within the black one. So who are you? You came from me.
Good for you, Kimberly. That was awesome that you did that.
I didn't. When they're beautiful, I showed her how beautiful she was. I helped her to know the black is beautiful. I wanted her to know you come from me. So what you talking about? But that's okay. I just want to make sure that no
That's
one
good.
unsuspectingly, like I told the people, I said, we don't want any black people to go through any more trauma that we're already going through. We're already going
That's
through trauma.
good.
So we don't want snakes in the grass. We want to say snake. We want to blow you up. We want to let people know, oh, here's a snake, don't go over there. Here's a snake, don't go over there. Here's a snake, don't go over there. Because that's what's right.
That's what's right. They
So
gotta
that's
learn.
what I wanted to
They gonna
contribute.
learn
They're
today.
gonna learn because we're gonna teach them. We're the big sisters and brothers. We're gonna teach y'all what's right.
That's good. That's good, Kimberly.
My Lord.
That's that. And then one more thing that I wanted to say. I know a lot of people have been having a lot of mixed emotion about what's being displayed. We have to understand. Okay, first, I'm from a family of 9. My parents had 9 love child together. Okay, 9. And we're country. We're from the country. Mom has gardens. Mom and Dad had gardens and all of that. even to this day, we need onions. We go out in mom's backyard and get onions. So she's always producing. What America needs to understand, and what we all need to understand, is it's about the seed. One apple seed can produce 100,000 apples. It has the potential. One apple seed, again, can produce up to 100,000 or more seeds. Not the first germination, not the first cycle, not the second one, not the third one, but trust, it's going to come. Now, America have many seeds that they sown, and their seeds look like what's going on the television, guys. Whether we want to believe it or not, it does. Mm-hmm. What they did to Black Wall Street, what they did to Arkansas, what they did to Springfield, chaos. Burning down people's stuff, raping people, exploiting people, all of that stuff has been done. They're putting it into people, and then because justice has not been served, you either give it to the people or the people are going to get their own justice. And so I don't say they should not do that. It does hurt my heart because I have a heart for the people. But what I understand too, with it being 9 siblings, Kimberly and everybody else in my family, let somebody hurt my mama. One of us is going to cry. Another one going to pray.
You and Darius
going
to fight. You and Darius going to be fighting. You and Darius.
Don't mess with mama.
No, don't mess with mama.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
You cannot tell people how to respond because people respond differently to different types of trauma, to different types of injustice, to repeatedly not being heard, to repeatedly feeling like they don't matter.
That's right.
Being repeatedly discounted, being repeatedly falsely accused.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Repeatedly. Did you guys see the guy who pulled the bow and arrow out?
Yes.
He came down there. Okay.
That's what I'm
Now y'all saw he was beat down by a mob.
Yes.
But when it came time to report who did it to him, he said 2 black men.
Yep.
But I have still shots, and the people did the caption, no black person in sight. But he said 2 black men. In fact, he pulled out his bow and arrow and pointed it point blank range at a black young man.
Wow.
And the mob beat him down.
That was good.
So people are just tired. Yeah, they're just tired.
Yeah, they're
They're
tired.
just tired. So that's what I wanted to say. I just want us all to just really think about it. What they're feeling, y'all, is what the black man has felt for centuries, honestly.
That's
to
true.
be out of control, to feel like you don't have a voice. And I'm going to tell you another thing. And I told this one individual, I said, what the racist is afraid of is a U is going to be pulled on you. Again, the racist biggest fear is the U, meaning who they are, is going to be pulled and switched on them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
That's
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Kimberly,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tara.
Okay, Tara is going to tell
Tara's
about
gonna
an
say
incident
something
that happened
with
with one
her.
of your cousins, wasn't it? A cousin? So go ahead and share with that.
I actually, his mom, I was trying to get his mom on the phone, so to see if she had any words, just to, if y'all don't mind.
If she
But it's well, I'm sure pretty much everybody knows the Lubbock incident. He was shot down, of course. He was evading arrest. However, he was shot down, I think up to 30 times when he finally surrendered.
Wow.
That's just a gist of what happened to him. There were no reports of him having a weapon. He
Did
was
they kill him or
yeah, he was shot over 30 times. He was shot
shot over 30 times?
in the palm of his hands, which means that he was surrendering at the time when they finally got to him. But I'm gonna call his mom just to give. I mean, she did say that I asked her if she had anything to say. She brought up a real good question when she texted me. I guess she didn't think she'd give me, but what was he killed for the color of his skin, or was he killed because the officers had a bad day? Which is
That's a good question.
and I'll touch on that just a little briefly after. And I take into consideration. She might be a little emotional, so I don't know what might be. But yeah, but I'm gonna ask if she just has a couple of words.
You have to put the phone.
Put it on speaker. Yeah.
But while she's getting her on the phone, it really make you, as parents that have black young men in their household, you wonder what's going to happen when they leave. You never know what's going to happen when they walk out that door. It doesn't matter what age they are. That's right. It's just you be wondering, is my child going to make it back home? Because you can't trust anybody. And then they, like you said earlier, they supposed to be there to serve. And not all cops are bad cops.
No.
But you see the ones that say like, I just don't care. I'm a policeman. And is she gonna talk? So what happens is, it's not saying that the young black man is going to be fearful, but they're going to fight back. I would listen to one of the guys' poem on Facebook that was shared. He was talking about him being a black man and how he's fearful of being, losing his life. And he made a poem out of it, and it was on there. So, we wondering what happens when they walk out the door. Are they going to make it back home? Is she ready? Okay.
I'm getting ready to put you on speaker, okay?
And put the phone right there.
Okay, Michelle, there you are.
All right. I want to know, was my son killed because of the color of his skin, or was the police officer just having a bad day that day? They didn't have to shoot him that many times. They overkilled him.
Wow. So what do you think actually happened to your son?
The police officer shot him so many times. I'm still waiting on the autopsy and all that to come back. They're trying to give me the runaround. And they said that he had stolen a car or something. But why would you shoot a man that many times?
That's just right. So was the bullets actually going to him, or did they shoot through the car? Or,
no, ma'am, they shot him. Ma'am, his body was shot up. The funeral home man that performed his body, he had to be buried in a body bag.
Oh,
they could not take the bag off. My son only 4'8", and he never wore a size no more than 29, 30. I had to get his pants a size 48 because his body was shot up, so many holes in his body.
Oh,
they shot him in his mouth and then shot his arm off where he had his arms up in there. He surrendered. No money, no drugs, no weapon. Why did they kill my baby like that?
That's the police.
That's all I want to know.
Oh, man. And they haven't been able to give you any kind of answers or nothing.
No, ma'am, they haven't told me anything. And when they told me that night, they never told me that my son was dead. Somebody from up there in Lubbock called me, a friend of mine, and told me that the police had just killed my son. And I called them for about 10 hours, and they never informed me. And I left my name and number and everything. They went to my daughter at 12 o'clock that night, and it happened like at 1 o'clock in the daytime.
Wow.
And they still didn't contact me, so I kept contacting them. And they told me to be there the next morning on the 17th at 10 to identify his body. When I got there, they say he was already gone to Tera County for autopsy.
Oh, my God. That is terrible.
Lubbock Police Department did that.
Oh, my God.
And they waited. It was like, you can see the video that was released. He was shot. It sounded like machine guns going off, and then they waited 39 seconds and shot one last shot. What was that last shot for? The 39 seconds.
Wow.
Apart from all the rest of it, got silent. Then they waited 39 seconds away.
Wow.
Okay, is the NAACP involved in this?
I was just trying to get me an attorney. I haven't contacted the NAACP. But my attorney said he would and all that. We waiting on the autopsy and stuff to come back.
Now, who is the attorney again, Michelle?
Morris Overstreet out of Austin, and he's working with somebody out of Atlanta, Georgia, and out of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
Okay.
I wish he could get, what's that man's name? Lee Merrick or whatever his name is that's working
Lee
out.
Merrick,
What is his name?
That's who it is. It's Lee Merrick. Lee Merrick or Lee Merrick.
Okay, that's the one you got working on it?
Him and Morris Overstreet.
Good, because he's good. He's working on. He's also working on the George Floyd, I think. Floyd. He's working on. He's the one that's worked on all of those. He's good.
How long ago was that, Tara?
How long? How,
Justice is gonna be done because God know the truth and God know our
That's right.
heart.
That's
And at the end of the day, them people that killed him, all them officers, I'm gonna sue each one of them individually if God see fit for it. If not, you know what I'm saying? They got children, they got grandchildren.
That's
they
right.
gonna see they day. They are.
one of the questions was, how long ago has this been since your son got shot?
It was April the 16th.
Of this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so that was just recently then.
Yes, ma'am. Go look at the video live from. He got killed right by the Lubbock Airport.
Oh my
And
God.
the people across the street, they recorded it. He said he told his daughter, "You better get down." She said they shoot, and then he said, "Oh, that's the police officer shoot." And say when they drug him out the car, they left all the evidence there. And when I went to the crime scene, there still was gauze and gloves and all that there. And they didn't even try to clean it up. A piece of his chunk of his head was laying with him.
How old was your
They
son?
said 31.
Oh man, a young man, 31 years old.
And he only had one daughter, a 10-year-old.
Oh, is that the name, Michelle?
Michelle.
Michelle, we'll be praying for you, and I can't imagine because I've never had that to happen, and I have two sons, so I can. I mean, that's just something that a mother shouldn't even have to go through, and we will be praying for you. And thank
All
you.
right,
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
ma'am.
for sharing your story with us, and we're gonna
all right,
pray
and
that you
pray
will
for me,
get
too.
justice.
Yes.
pray for me too.
We're gonna definitely pray
So
for
they
you.
won't do it to our next kids that's growing up just because of the color of their skin.
Thank you.
That's why I feel like they did that to him.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Michelle.
I love
Thank
you
you
guys.
so much.
I love you too.
I
We'll
love
talk to
y'all.
y'all.
Thank
And we
y'all.
love you too,
All right,
Michelle.
bye-bye.
Thank you so
Thank y'all.
much.
Pray for me. All
We
right.
will.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think what I wanted to touch on. Of course, I said he was evading. He was evading arrest. Of course, there was a time that, and I feel like this is the reason why God has brought this forth, because there was a time when I kind of agreed with officers when, and I'm going to say that from a physical point, maybe, and I'm probably shallow, but there was a time when I thought, okay, well, they're resisting arrest. Maybe they deserved it, and that's just me being transparent. However, resisting arrest does not cause for. It's not a cause for murder. It doesn't give you a call for murder. If somebody's running away from you and you're fearing for your life, you're not going to confront the person that's running. If they're running from you, they're not trying to harm you, obviously.
That's right. They run in
If they're
front
trying
of
to
you.
get away, if they're trying to
That's
get
right.
away from you, they're not trying to harm you, obviously.
Right.
And people will bring up, your background. They'll bring up your record.
Always.
But people change, and I think this is what God spoke to me: the fact that people change.
Yes,
a
they
lot
do.
of people has had a record. Law enforcement,
Right.
preachers, pastors.
That's right.
Judge. I watch him all the time. My boy,
Mathis.
yeah, Mathis.
Judge Mathis went to prison.
Speaks about
Yeah.
his record
Yeah, he
all
went
the
to
time.
prison.
However, he has changed. And is now a judge, a prominent judge. Which doesn't mean
That's
much,
right.
but you can tell that his heart changed.
Yes.
He's a Christian judge, and
Yes.
of course he doesn't support the criminal activity that he used to support. So the thing is that no matter what you're doing, or no matter what you've done, it doesn't give us
process.
as people or policemen
The right.
to
That's
judge if it's time for you to die or not. And that's the thing. And I think Kim spoke on it. They walk around like they're God, and that you have the right
To just do what you want to do.
to
Yeah.
determine, just because you're in the justice system or you work for the justice system doesn't make you a judge over people
That's
and their
right.
lives and when and how they should die.
That's right.
And so it's wrong there. And I remember I posted when it happened. I understand if you're fighting for your life, if you're
Right,
protecting your life.
That's right.
But over 30 times for you to kill someone is not protecting your life. And especially if someone is unarmed and they've obviously surrendered to you, for you to shoot him in the palm of his hands.
Ooh,
Yes,
yeah.
obviously
He was
he was
trying to.
surrendered. And it said when they asked his mom not to view the body because of the
Lord,
way
I
that
hate
he
to go through
died,
that.
but someone pulled back the sheet anyway. They shot his leg clear off. They were shooting with AR-15s for one.
Wow.
And they shot his leg along with his penis
Wow.
and his leg off. They shot his arm off. And then, of course, if you know AR-15, if you moving it, it's shooting in lines.
Yeah, it's gonna
but
shatter.
that's the thing. If you and that's what I said. If I can understand if they were if they were protecting themselves, even if they're protecting the community, they are called to protect the community.
Yes.
However, he was stopped. He was pulled over finally on the freeway, so there were no houses around. You can see the business. The business owner was protecting himself, of course, but the ones that were shooting was the police officers, so they should have been protecting themselves from them. He wasn't in. He hadn't at that. Well, he wasn't protect. They weren't protecting their life, is what I'm saying, and they weren't protecting a community's life. They took it upon themselves to decide that this is the day that this man should die. Basically, could have been because they and the family. I've spoken to my family. Could have been because maybe they had read his record. Maybe he had just got out of jail. No, honestly, 16 days before, not for killing anyone. Of course, he should have. Yes, he had a record. And the thing about it is then too, is scientifically they brought up it's automatic for us to resist arrest for one, because we have a fear of flight mechanism in our bodies, especially when we're fearful.
Right.
And the thing about it, we can say people will say, okay, you were fearful because you're doing something wrong. No, this man right here says he's still
doing nothing
fearful
wrong.
because he wasn't doing anything wrong.
Right.
And that's
right.
the thing, is because we know the story.
That's right.
We know what have happened.
Yes.
We know that a black man, for one, we've seen that he's not safe. So many of us, even though we haven't done anything wrong, will be fearful and will more than likely resist because of that mechanism.
That's
But,
right.
and that's what you're working off of. You're basing your motive for shooting someone off the fact that they've resisted you.
Or do you think that they just automatically think we're the scum beneath the earth? So whenever they see someone, for them
Say
to
what now?
they
Okay, here.
think black men scum beneath the earth.
Oh, scum.
Oh, yeah.
beneath the-
Scum
Yeah.
I think
beneath
so.
the earth. So because there has to be someone that says fire. There has to be someone in their ears to say shoot. Who is this person? If you got 20 people surrounding you, what did you say, an AR?
They had AR-15.
And all 6 of them were shooting it. Who gave the command?
Somebody.
This person has
That's
to
right.
be responsible, because even when you look at the officer that had his knee in his neck, it was like he was just there as if somebody was telling him, don't let go, don't let go. I mean,
That's what it looked like.
like he was just there, I'm not going to move no matter
And just as
what.
comfortable, like.
Well,
He
what
had
we
his hand in
didn't
his
see is
pocket.
a video showed was that there were 3, and this is why the
Yeah, all
officers,
3 of them was sitting
the
on
other
him.
ones have been fired, is because what we didn't see while he had his knee in his neck, there were 3 officers behind him that had their knees on his body
And I
that were
understand
holding
part,
him
but
down.
I'm just saying the man that we saw. I couldn't see the other 2, but he wouldn't move, and he put his hand in his pocket like he was just
Yeah.
like
Making-
I'm just
making
leaning
a,
over here,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
he just looked at the other person as though he couldn't hear. He wasn't there. I don't know if he was demonic, demon possessed, but he wouldn't move. He would not allow his knee to even budge.
the police
You
you're
mean?
saying.
And he
Okay.
just looked straight.
And you can see it in his eyes. Whatever he
Like
was
he-
thinking, you can see it
He
in
was
his
locked in
eyes.
like a pit bull.
Yes.
that had been
Yeah,
trained
but
to kill.
you know, regardless of, if he was waiting for a command or something, common sense.
Sense.
Yeah, right.
When
should
you're
have
saying
told
that I
me.
can't
And
breathe.
this man telling you I can't breathe, and you see this blood coming down his nose. Common sense would say,
And
okay,
it's
I'm gonna
hot.
ease up. And then you got these other ones. Man, you need to like last night. Same thing happened almost last night when this police officer and the camera was on him. He had his knee in this man's neck, and the other police officer taking his knee and pushed it off. because he knew the camera was in. I guess he said, "I'm not going through this."
Was it because
But
of the camera that
it-
he asked
it
his
was
friend to
because
move, or
of
it
the
was
camera.
the right thing to do?
It was
Oh,
because
you all,
of
our
the camera.
time is
No,
up.
Pastor,
We're gonna
no,
have
Pastor,
to.
we getting good.
I
Pastor.
know, but we gotta stop Kimberly. This is so
more to
good.
say.
But we're gonna have a part 2 on this again because we have some others that want to come on the show and talk about this. This is something that needs to be talked about
Needs to be
because
addressed.
just like the other people are tired, we going through COVID-19. We got people out there that are stressed, but it still doesn't cause for this to happen.
Right.
That we are afraid for our black young men or even the other browns to go out there and they're just shooting them up like they
and
dogs.
also some whites.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
we don't want this to happen
know.
in any race, really.
No,
It shouldn't
no
happen.
race.
Male or female?
Male or female shouldn't be
Right.
going through this. And then to hear this mother crying about her son being 30 shots with her, like they just
31.
shooting in a
shooting
game or
like
something.
it's- yeah,
like it's a
And they're
gang. Oh,
still
that's
trying
good.
to investigate this. So we're going to have a part 2 on this. And we want you to tune in every Monday night at 8 p.m. Facebook and YouTube. And we want you to write down at the bottom of the screen when this is aired your feelings on this. So thank you all. Thank you, Tera, for sharing. Thank Michelle
Thank you.
for sharing her hurt and pain. We're going to be praying for her.
Praying for
Thank you, Darius Kirkwood, which is my son.
Yes,
I did
Darius.
never think that you will be a part of this. And I thank God that I didn't go there because I probably may not even be in here today to be on the Talk of Life talk show with Elma.
Right.
So may God bless you. Thank you, Linda. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday.
again.
Happy
She
birthday. She
has 2 more
she
presents back
celebrates her birthday all month. So every month we're going to shout out
Happy
to
birthday.
Linda. Happy
Happy
birthday. To Kimberly, Cynthia, Darius, and Tera. We wish you all love.
Can I say something?
One
Just
thing, y'all, before we close.
Okay, when the police officer was on this man's neck, I thought about it. He said, "Mama, help me."
His mom's been dead.
And I'm thinking his mother been dead for 2 years. And I'm thinking he must have seen his mother.
Oh.
Wow.
And she told him, "Come on home, baby.
Oh.
He
Come
has
on
it.
home." He said, "Mother, help
That's
me.
what he said. Huh?
My mama. I want my mama."
See?
And maybe and I thought about that. I was telling my girlfriend this morning. I said maybe he saw his mama, and that's why
And a
he
great
called
cloud
out.
of witnesses.
And she said,
Right.
"Come on home, baby."
Right. And that was his
Come on.
protector. It's nothing like the love of a mother. May God bless
Bless
you
you.
all
Yes.
until we see you face to face. Again, if you want to be on the Talk of Life talk show, elmatalkshow.com, register, and we will love for you to come on this
Amen.
Christian-based talk. So may God bless you and keep you until we see you face to face.
Amen.